Hi everybody, it's Dee Slater with Create with Dee. Welcome to our Wednesday night. As always, when you are here, if you want to say hi, that would be great. And well, the month of September, we're going to do some mystery stamping. So for the next few weeks, I'll be giving you on Tuesday a list of materials to gather around. And then you can either make the card with me or you could watch it and then go back and watch the replay immediately and you'll have everything ready to go to make it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our mystery stamping. Ahead of time, I told you that we were going to need a cardstock base, and that would be at 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. We needed 3 pieces of the same color cardstock at 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. So we need 3 of these. 4 designer series paper cut at 2 1/2 by 4, and 4 designer paper cut at 1 1/2 or 1 3/4 by 4 as well. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to take our 5 3/4 by 4 1/4, and we're going to do some scoring. And let me go ahead and switch the camera around. Thanks for joining. Right now we're going to get our bone folder, and this is the wonkiest bone folder. This is the one that I typically use for re-inking. But we're going to take the side here that's got the 3/4 inch score line, the first one, and we're going to score that up. And going in the same direction, we're going to give the crisp edge to all of those score lines. And I just kind of do a quick check that it lines up, and it does. Now what we're going to do is on this first panel here, we're going to add some adhesive, some strong adhesive. If you'd like, you could use tear and tape. Throughout this, I'm going to go ahead and use the multi-purpose glue, just because it's got a lot of wiggle room. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold it all the way up so that this makes a little box. Let's see if you can see that, but I'm matching it all the way up here. And see if you can see it. See how it makes that tunnel? Whoops. There we go. So it, like when it looks like this, it forms a little square. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the other 3 panels that we have, and we are going to attach them to the 3 sides that we just made. Now I've seen a couple of ways of doing this, and what I like to do, like I've seen where you can fold this flat, but what I found the most success with is to keep it open, and we're going to add glue up here. And this is why I like liquid glue, because we do have a little wiggle room. Okay, so then we're going to put it so that it's, and like it kind of makes a right angle, and line up those edges. Oops. Okay, and now we're going to turn it and go to the next panel, and we're going to do it 2 more times. Okay, line it up. And kind of put this on here like this. And then I'm going to turn it. Now I have 1 more side that's scored here, and that'll be with my last panel. Okay. So we have just made a Pinwheel Tower card. That's our mystery card here for tonight. Now what I like to do is open this up and really kind of burnish it all again. So you can open it up, fold it to the next panel. And this also makes sure we have nice, good contact with it. I'm going to open it up and fold down, and open up and fold down. And as you can see, it is going to lay flat, and it will go into our standard envelope with it as well. All right, so now it's time for decorating. And here you can see the pinwheel, and then since it stands up, it's a tower. Okay, so what I'm going to use for mine is I'm going to use the black and white designer series paper. This is a really versatile pack, and the fact that you can add whatever color that you would like with it. And so that's what I'm using here tonight. And I thought I would share with you how I colored these panels. Okay, so for this started out with just a regular black and white polka dot. But as you can see here on camera, that I used Parakeet Party for coloring on that. And what I did is I took my Stampin' Blend and I just kind of colored in a pattern. Now I've done that ahead of time on all of these three and most of this one. And I thought I would just kind of show you how I did this. So I started up here in the corner and colored, and then I did 1, 2, 3, colored, and then went down on a diagonal. And I repeated that. So I can come down here. This is the last diagonal that I colored. So just on any one of them, I counted over 1, 2, 3. And then, oops, I must have used the light. And then I just stayed on that diagonal. Let me switch that out real quickly. And then count out 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And that. And so I did that on all of it. So that way, you know, whatever blend that you have, or even a marker, a Stampin' Write marker, you know, you can color in the dots. So that's a way of adding color to that. And then for this one, what I wanted to do, I'm using the color palette of Parakeet Party as well as Orchid or Oasis. Okay, so for this, what I want to do is I'm going to take my ink pad and going to ink up my blending brush. And I'm going to, this kind of has like a swoosh line on it a little bit. And I kind of just followed that angle. And I'm just going to go back and forth. I'm going to kind of skip a little bit, keep some of the white, and add color that way. So now we've got our panels, and we just start layering the panels on. And what this should do then is mat right in between it. Now I have seen where people have taken, or ours are going to leave a little matting border around it. Other people made it so that it fit all the way around it. I tried that a couple of times, and unless you have your how it glues down and you have everything just exactly so, my panels were off. And so I like cutting them down 1/4 of an inch from the panel side. So that's why these are 2.5 by 4, and then it's a little more forgiving for me. So what I want to do is I'm going to mix and match what panels, like the larger panel and the smaller panel. All right, so now we've got all of our panels decorated. Easy peasy. I mean, it really is, and it's kind of fun to flip it. Now let me bring in my sample. And you might have guessed with the colors that I went totally, completely Halloween. And I stayed with the color palettes of Orchid Oasis and Parakeet Party. So this is my color palette for Halloween. And so I used on the panels here to decorate it, I used both Best Witches and Bewitching. And so what I did is I stamped one of the witches and I colored the hat and everything, you know, with the two colors. Again, I'm using the Parakeet Party and the Orchid Oasis, and use that. And I don't know if you can see, but her face is shiny. And I used a little Wink of Stella to add that other color. The third color that I did introduce was basic black, so I could color her band on it. But the little frog image and the stars are from that. Oh, and I used the decorative circle punch to stamp and then punch out the witch. And here I fussy cutted out the little cauldron that she's doing. So then every other panel, I did either the one of the Best Witches images, or I did the Bewitching and used the hat punch to go along with it. So on this one, I didn't do anything on this panel. I thought the paper was fun, so I just wanted to show that you don't have to decorate everything. Here I've got our little spider that's from Bewitching, and then Best Witches. And then on one of the panels, you may want to just put a white piece on it so that you can do your handwritten note to whoever it's going for. Okay, so that's how I decorated, kind of switched out the colors opposite. So on this one, I did the green, and on this one, I did the purple. And that's our tower card. One of the things, and that's really it. It's so, I thought I just would show you how I decorated it, but our mystery stamping was really about the layout on this. There is a lot of embellishments to do, and so I didn't want you to just watch me for hours doing that. And as you can see, I used the decorative label in the black to use the backing there. So the decorative label or circle punch was used on all of the panels. This little panel here is 1.5 by 3. It is a little tricky to find the sentiments that are long and narrow. And so even on the Best Witches, I did want to show you that what I did is you could either mask, but I literally just cut that in 2 as well. This is fairly thick already, and my tip is not to put dimensionals or foam dots on it to raise it because of the bulkiness. It's already a nice bulk to mail it. So unless you were going to make it yourself and just enjoy it on your desk or somewhere, but keep the layers that you add to it kind of to a minimum so that you don't need to have the extra postage on it. All right, so that is our Wednesday night mystery stamping to make a Pinwheel Tower card, and showing you some techniques that you can use with the Black and White Designer Series paper. And kind of staying within just a 3-color color palette, or 4 if you count the white. Again, sticking with primarily these in colors. All right, everybody, have a great Wednesday and a great rest of your week. And if you make one of these, please let me know and feel free to share it here on Facebook. All right, have a nice evening. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.